Hey everyone, hope you're doing good. Why does anyone really start a business? Is it just for money and fame? Absolutely not. Forget the fancy suits and big budgets. The most enduring companies start for one of three powerful, often overlooked reasons. But here's the brutal truth: 9 out of 10 businesses crash and burn. They run out of cash, lose their focus, or worse, they build something nobody cares about. The blueprint for building a lasting business have three phases: the foundation, the structure, and the moat. Building a lasting business transcends fleeting trends by systematically establishing a robust foundation, a sustainable operational structure, and strong competitive barriers. The journey begins with phase 1, the foundation, where the core value is defined. This requires solving a critical, urgent market problem, one so painful that customers are eager to pay for the solution, thereby moving your offering from a nice to have to a must have. Success in this initial phase is confirmed only by achieving product market fit, evidenced by high retention and enthusiastic word of mouth growth. This foundation is buttressed by a clear mission and core values, which act as a strategic compass for all future decisions. Then the business moves into phase 2, the structure, focusing on making success repeatable and profitable. The absolute requirement here is establishing positive unit economics, ensuring that the customer lifetime value far exceeds the customer acquisition cost. If the math doesn't work, the business isn't viable. This profitability is sustained by securing scalable distribution, a predictable, cost-effective channel for reaching new customers, and by relentlessly driving operational efficiency through documentation and automation. This structural integrity turns the business into a reliable, profit-generating machine rather than a chaotic struggle. Finally, to guarantee longevity, the business enters phase 3, the moat, where defensible competitive advantages are built. This involves creating high barriers to entry, such as network effects, where the product's value increases with every user, protecting proprietary technology, cultivating an unshakable brand and community, or intentionally creating high switching costs that lock customers into your ecosystem. By progressing through these three phases, defining value, building a sustainable structure, and securing defensibility, a company ensures it is built not just for rapid growth but for enduring generational success. Today, we're cutting through the noise. We'll reveal the three core drivers of business creation, the simple, happy path to lasting success, and the three deadly pitfalls you must know. Let's start the clock. This is an excellent topic. The most enduring and successful companies are founded on a strategic basis, not just a vague desire to make money. They are driven by one of three core motivations, which dictate their strategy, culture, and ultimate staying power. Here are the three fundamental drivers of business creation. 1. The solver. This addresses a critical market problem. 2. The opportunist. This exploiting a technological or market shift. 3. The mission. This fulfilling a deeply held personal or ethical mandate. Let's dive in detail and discuss about the solver. The solver addressing a critical market problem. This is the most sustainable and robust driver for starting a company. It focuses on identifying a significant urgent pain point experienced by a specific group of people and creating a unique, effective solution for it. The solver approach is arguably the most reliable path to building a lasting and profitable business. It shifts the focus away from the founder's idea and places it squarely on the customer's urgent, unmet need. Let's identify the pain points. A critical market pain point is: 1. The widespread. It affects a large or valuable segment of the market. 2. The urgent. It requires immediate attention. The customer cannot comfortably wait for a solution. 3. The expensive. It costs the customer significant time, money, effort, or stress under the current paradigm. 4. Poorly solved. Existing alternatives are complex, incomplete, inconvenient, or fail frequently. A company founded on this principle is not selling a product, it is selling relief, efficiency, and transformation. Let's talk about the value proposition. When you effectively solve a critical market pain point, your product or service becomes a must-have rather than a nice-to-have. This creates a powerful commercial dynamic. Those are the pricing power, rapid adoption, and high retention. Let's dive in detailed on each area. Let's talk about the pricing power at first. Customers are often willing to pay a premium to eliminate a major source of friction or cost. The next one is rapid adoption. Marketing becomes easier because the customer is actively searching for a solution to their acknowledged problem. The last but not the least is high retention. Once the pain is gone, customers are highly reluctant to switch back to the old, painful way of doing things. Now let's look at some use cases. The problem before the solution was like companies using traditional on premise customer relationship management software faced massive headaches. The systems were complex, required expensive internal IT infrastructure and maintenance, and took months to deploy. It was a huge continuous pain point in Telemarine. The solver solution is Salesforce. By pioneering the software as a service model for CRM, Salesforce eliminated the infrastructure cost, the complexity, and the maintenance burden. They delivered a simple, accessible solution over the internet. The result is Salesforce sold simplicity and reduced cost, addressing a deeply painful market need, which rapidly propelled them to industry leadership. By rigorously focusing on solving a critical pain point, a business builds its foundation on customer necessity, leading to organic growth and strong profitability. Let's dive in detail and discuss about the solver. Let's talk about the opportunist driver now. The opportunist driver focuses on recognizing a fundamental change in the business, technological, or social landscape and building a company specifically to leverage that new reality. These companies thrive on timing and foresight, capitalizing on a shift that makes a new service or product possible, necessary, or significantly cheaper than before. Recognizing the shift. Exploiting a shift requires keen attention to three main types of systemic change. 1. Technological leaps. A new hardware component like GPS, powerful mobile processors, or fast broadband, or a new software paradigm like cloud computing or machine learning makes a previously impossible business model feasible. 2. Regulatory changes. New laws or deregulation open up closed markets or necessitate new compliance services. 3. Societal or demographic trends. Major shifts in consumer behavior, example, preference for remote work, focus on sustainability, or the rise of the sharing economy, create massive new demand. Let's talk about the value proposition. The opportunist's offering is often defined by unprecedented convenience, speed, or cost reduction that was unattainable before the shift occurred. They introduce services that feel like magic because they were technologically impossible just a few years earlier. The first one is disruption. These companies don't just compete with existing rivals, they often make the old way of doing business obsolete. The second one is rapid scale. Because the underlying technology is often already widespread, i.e., smartphones, the market can scale very quickly, often following a steep technology adoption curve. Let's look at the use case examples. Leveraging the existing infrastructure and the shift and the widespread adoption of GPS-enabled smartphones and the development of reliable mobile payment systems created a massive untapped opportunity. One of the talking points of this solution was Uber. Uber recognized that millions of people already had the necessary hardware, smartphones, and a need for flexible transportation. They built a simple, scalable platform that leveraged this existing infrastructure, bypassing the need for central dispatchers, two-way radios, and the entire traditional taxi medallion system. What happens in the end is history as a result. They didn't invent transportation. They seized the opportunity created by mobile technology to create a seamless, on-demand experience that redefined an entire industry. By timing their entry to coincide with a major shift, opportunists can achieve massive scale and market dominance before slower, entrenched competitors can react. Now, time to talk about the last driver, which is the mission. The mission driver is fulfilling a deeply held personal or ethical mandate. The mission driver grounds a business not primarily in market opportunity or problem solving, but in a powerful, non-negotiable set of values, a philosophical goal, or a mandate for social or environmental change. While this approach might seem soft compared to financial metrics, it often creates the deepest, most resilient form of competitive advantage, unbreakable customer loyalty, and pricing power. The guiding principle. This approach posits that the business itself is the mechanism for achieving a greater purpose. The founder is not merely interested in selling a product, they are using the sale of that product as a way to fund or propagate their mission. The proposition of business. Your business sells an identity, a belief system, and a platform for change alongside the product. Customers become evangelists because they share the company's commitment. The success indicator, high customer affinity, low churn, and a willingness among customers to pay a premium because they feel their purchase aligns with or contributes to the company's ethical goals. The team cohesion. A strong mission acts as a filter, attracting passionate employees who are motivated by purpose rather than just salary, leading to a highly engaged and resilient workforce. When a mission is authentic and integrated into the business model, it creates a powerful moat, a defensibility barrier that competitors cannot easily replicate. The trust and transparency. The mission necessitates radical honesty in sourcing, labor, and production, building profound trust. The community building. The company doesn't just have customers, it has a dedicated community of like minded individuals who advocate for the brand. The strategic differentiation. In crowded markets, the mission provides a unique angle that makes the company stand out beyond features or price. Let's look at the use case example. Commitment to environmentalism, the mission. To use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. The company. Their mission is integrated into every aspect of the company. They actively encourage customers to not buy new products. Example, through repair programs and used gear exchanges, and use their profits to fund grassroots environmental efforts. In result, this authentic dedication results in a highly premium brand whose customers feel they are investing in the mission itself when they purchase a product, creating a level of loyalty that is virtually unassailable by competitors. By making the mission the core driver, the company builds a legacy based on purpose that transcends short-term market fluctuations. The happy path to success shown in the image is a strategic four-step framework designed to build a dominant company by creating unstoppable momentum. It suggests that if a founder starts for the right reasons, they can follow this sequential process where each stage builds upon the previous one. 1. Find product market fit. The first and most critical step is to identify a specific niche and focus on it obsessively. Success at this stage is achieved when the product becomes so valuable that users feel they can't live without it. 2. Scalable growth. Once the product is essential to a core group, the focus shifts to expansion. This step involves identifying a marketing or sales channel where the cost to acquire a new customer is less than the total amount the customer spends with the business. 3. Optimize business model. After establishing growth, the goal is to maximize the efficiency of the financial engine. This is done by tweaking pricing to better capture value, automating processes to reduce overhead, turning revenue into pure profit by improving margins. 4. Build defensibility. The final step is to create a moat that protects the company from competitors. This involves expanding the product line and building network effects where the service becomes more valuable to every user as more people join. The 3 deadly pitfalls you should know. Understanding why 90% of companies fail is just as vital as knowing the path to success. These 3 mistakes are the primary reasons companies fall off the happy path. Pitfall 1. Building what nobody wants. This is the number one killer of startups. Founders often build beautiful technical solutions for problems that simply do not exist, or for problems that customers are unwilling to pay to solve. Consequently, the company runs out of money trying to market something nobody needs. Pitfall 2. Running out of runway. Often described as financial suicide, this pitfall occurs when a company spends too much too soon. Investing in flashy offices or overhiring before establishing consistent revenue causes the clock to run out on the business. Pitfall 3. Failing to distribute. A better mousetrap is useless if no one knows it exists. If a company cannot tell its story affordably, or if the cost of acquiring a customer remains too high, the business model will ultimately break. In conclusion, the happy path to success is a journey of intentional momentum where each strategic step builds upon the previous one to create an unstoppable, dominant company. However, achieving this vision requires more than just following the 4 steps. It demands the discipline to stay vigilant against the three deadly pitfalls that cause 90% of companies to fail. By starting for the right reasons and obsessively focusing on a niche until your product is indispensable, you avoid the primary killer of building something nobody wants. Success is found at the intersection of scalable growth and careful financial management to ensure the clock never runs out on your runway. Ultimately, understanding these hard truths is just as important as knowing the path itself. If you can balance efficient distribution with a defensible business model, you move beyond mere survival and into true market dominance. Thank you all once again, and see you soon in our next video.